Okay, good morning, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of April 8th, 2026. We'll do quick introductions. Myself online, Chris Ewan. We have in person Councillor Jason Bodnarchuk.
Morning.
Councillor Janine Boulanger.
Morning.
CEO Shane Ray.
Morning.
Councillor Shane Pelletier. And Councillor Joel Lemoine.
Bon matin.
And somewhere hidden, I believe, our Assistant CEO Dominic Lemoine is there.
Good morning.
And we'll jump right into it. Item number 1, meeting call to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Boulanger. Any questions before we open the meeting? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That is carried. Open the meeting at 9 a.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine. Council's good with the agenda as is. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That is carried. Item 3, any declarations of interest? So we don't need a mover. If there are none, do we have any? Nope. Moving on to item 4, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Boulanger. We have the minutes from March 18th, 2026, the regular council meeting. Council, you've reviewed. Do you have any questions for the CEO? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That is carried. 5, delegations and presentations. 9:05. Is Dave here? Yes, I see him online. Dave, we're a bit early, but if you're ready to go, we can start you right now.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Absolutely.
Okay. We'll
I love how
hand it over
efficient
to
this
you.
group. I love how efficient this group is. I'll try to be the same.
Thanks.
You guys just rip through it. It's awesome. So thanks for the invite. As usual, I put these together, considering what I'd want to see if I was sitting in your shoes. So I'll just do sort of a high level review of the package that was, or the item that was sent out in your agenda package. From a safety standpoint, 2025, we didn't have any incidents. The site's pretty predictable. Runs very, very smooth, no issues at all. 2026, unfortunately, we do have one recordable incident, fairly minor. And then we did have one customer complaint that's been resolved. So nothing too crazy on the safety side. From the environmental side, we had one inspection in 2025. I think I addressed this before. The ask was for us to increase or improve our oil storage facility, which is basically just a shed. Completed, accepted. No further issues. 2026 so far, no inspections, complaints, or concerns. On the environmental side, just to make sure that council's aware, there's federal methane regulations that have come out across Canada, will impact this site as well as all of our sites in Canada. I think I got one that's not affected. So it's still a moving target. I've got GFL's entire team on it as this impacts all of our sites in Canada, leveraging our American counterparts for some best practices. So as it develops, make sure to keep everyone in the loop on that because it's high on my radar of things to worry about. And then on the lifespan side, feel free to interrupt me at any time with questions. I'm going to try to just rip through this here. So on the lifespan side, what do we got here? 2025 survey had site reaching capacity March 2027. My models show it closer to Q4 of this year. As you can imagine, when you're building a hill out of garbage is not a really good building material, so it's tough to get real accurate with an exact end date. And when you get to this point in a landfill, you're trying to find pockets, any settlement, any soil stockpiles that we can recover from. And we've got one of the things that we're focused on right now is the interior road. It's kind of an odd one at that site. It sits, at least a meter lower than elevation. Typically, they're at elevation since it's just an interior road. So we're going to look at pulling that road out, moving it up to elevation, and assuming that there's not a good reason it's there, gets us about $1 million worth of value in that airspace, which is perfect. And then the NOA is being prepped by WSP for the lateral expansion. My suggestion is it should contain a temporary overfill request. Anytime that you're building the next cell, and we're way late in the game to be building the next cell, you have to make sure you've got good predictable material for your insulation layer. You don't want to put like a school demolition or something like that on the liner. So it's handy to have a permit to do a temporary overfill while we build the cell, and then we can push that for the lack of a better term, soft garbage into that first insulation layer once the cell's complete. And it ends up allowing you to capture that space in the void. And that space is significant. I think for the RM, just that void would be worth $2.5 million or something like that. So I know Shane made the connection yesterday to the WSP rep. So I'll make sure that I can get in contact with them today and get them all that they could possibly need from a reporting standpoint so that they can do the notice of alteration. And then there's a little bit of detail on slide 5 there on sort of the road plan. You'll have to forgive the layout there. That's from my engineering team. But it shows roughly what we're trying to accomplish, about 30,000 cubic meters of airspace reclaimed just by moving that road. But like a lot of landfills, it's got history. There's a lot of good reasons why the road is there. We got to vet that out and make sure it's not just because it's been there forever and that there's a real meaningful reason for it to be there. And if there isn't, then we'll just run it on the midline of the site and reclaim that airspace. Also gives you more predictable grades. Let's just go to a nice clean 3-to-1 throughout the duration of the site. So what else do we got here from a financial standpoint? Site did well, super predictable, my most predictable site by a long shot. About 5 million in revenue, about 3 million of that land on the bottom line. I've included that's not our audited numbers, we're just going through that right now. And then I included Q1. March is still in play. Our month closes in tomorrow. So there's still probably some corporate entries and adjustments that need to be made. So that's not reliable, but either way, I've included all that data for you. And then that's pretty much all I've got.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Is there any questions from council or administration?
Dave, for the road, I don't know that there's any history on it other than it was just where it is. But at the west end, you're no longer in your, there's a separation in level 1, level 2 landfill there.
Yeah.
So be aware of that.
Yeah, we've got engineers coming to site. I don't remember the date. I think it's the 23rd. We're going to do another survey, and then I've got my project team coming out to meet them to walk through it. And like I said, there could be a really good reason it's there from a geological standpoint. There could be, some limitations in design. Usually that's not the case. Usually it's just, this is where we built it, and now it's turned into fact that it needs to stay there. So I'm hoping that's the case, because then there's a lot of good design improvement that we can do out there.
Perfect. Anything else?
That's it here.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much, Dave. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks all.
Good one.
Bye.
Okay, going into 6.1.1, it's a public hearing that we had to table and move to this date. So I will give quick instructions on the public hearing. So the CA, I will call it the item number. CA will have a quick description of information, and then I will open the public hearing. At that time, I'll ask if the applicant or anyone on behalf of the applicant wishes to make a presentation. They'll have 10 minutes max to do so. After that, I will ask if there's anyone wishing to speak in favor, online or in person. At that time, please, if you're online, unmute your microphone, turn on your video, and if you're in person, come up to the middle table and just say your name. There might be a form to fill out too. And then you have, again, 10 minutes for your hearing, for your speaking time. And after that, I'll ask if there's anyone wishing to speak against online, on the phone, or in person. Same procedure. And then I will do one last call. Anyone that has maybe general comments, has questions, wants to speak in favor or against one more time. And then we will close the public hearing, and then that time will be for council for discussion only. Council will not engage with the public, and the gallery will not engage with council. And we will begin. So 6.1.1 C2 2026 Michelle Coulombe, Lot 1, Plan 71718, No Civic, La Barriere.
Point of order on this.
Yeah.
We've closed the public hearing already, and I think we just tabled the decision. So I don't know that we need to open up the public hearing again. This should be just discussion amongst council.
I don't know that point of order.
So we didn't close the hearing.
Yes.
We just tabled. We
Yeah,
tabled the decision. So I would say we're reopening it at 9:09. But the applicant and anybody else has made their presentations. There is an opportunity for people to provide additional information at this point in time. But nothing additional has been received. No one is here. I would still follow your regular procedure, Chris, and then we can close it.
Yeah, that's what I assume, but I appreciate that, Councillor Pelche, for clarification. So no point of order, denied. Okay, so I will still go with the regular thing. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Is the applicant there?
No.
Or
No.
online? Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, in person, or on the phone?
There's nobody
Anything,
here.
anything more received in favor?
Nothing received in favor from anyone.
Anyone wishing to speak against online, on the phone, or in person? Anything
No.
received? Anything received against?
No.
Final call. Anyone wishing to make any general comment, ask any questions, speak in favor or against, online, on the phone, or in person? None. I will close the public hearing at 9:11 a.m. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So the information that we were looking for, I'm going to provide here. The question was about access to the back field, and in 2021, the farmers in that area actually applied for a crossing. We provided a culvert to allow them to place into that drainage ditch, so that they had and were able to access it. We are not sure if they installed it at this point in time. It's something that our public works manager is following up with once we have no snow and he can see. If it has not been installed, then we'll be following up with the individuals to find out what has happened to that culvert.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else from council?
So that'll solve the drainage issues.
No drainage issues, the access issues, the process.
Crossing, that's what I meant.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to the public hearings, we're going into no committee reports. 8.1 department report for the emergency coordinator. We have
So Harold has just provided a spring thaw update report. It's just using information from the province at this point in time. The province is not predicting the use of either the floodway or of any flooding in the area. The risk for the Red River Valley at this point in time is low. So.
Thank you. Council's reviewed that. Any questions? I guess Harold's not here, so we don't have anyone to answer those questions. 8.2, do we need to vote
No.
on those? No, this is just for information. 8.2 recreation.
So Recreation has submitted their first quarter report. If there's any questions, Melissa is on the line with us and she can answer those for council.
Council, any comments or questions or anything from Melissa?
Just comment on the going out to the schools for Dotay Park and getting some feedback. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
They wanted to consult with the playground experts.
So the, yeah, there's a concern that nothing's happening. We keep saying it's coming, but now it's coming.
Yes.
What's coming, so.
Yeah.
You're anticipated, installed, did it say?
The users in the community have selected the playground that they want. And I know Melissa can speak to it. I saw her mic was off there, but.
Can't hear you,
Melissa,
Melissa.
if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh, expected to be installed at the end of June 2026. So that answers that. Thanks.
And just
Perfect.
The RFP for the rec master plan coming out. So
Yep, that and the community vision plan both close.
okay, so awesome.
Perfect. Anything else from council? Call for the question. All those in favor? Oh, sorry, we're not voting. Sorry. 8.3 administration Q1 2026 report.
So Dominic has uploaded her report. If there's any questions, I'll defer to her on the items in this report.
Thank you. Anything?
See,
It is starting to pick up, yes. Yeah,
You're-
the permits are very busy.
but you've got capacity to handle the, yeah, okay.
That was a timid, yeah.
Yeah.
We are starting to utilize their casual staff members, so
That's-
that's
okay,
really,
good.
yeah, it's been really great to have her here.
The online permitting has shaved a lot of time off.
Yeah, yeah, I would say it's been great. We haven't seen as much foot traffic, and so that's been super helpful in terms of managing like staff time in here. But yeah, I think it's overall been really well received, so.
And even something as simple as dog licensing, maybe more people will.
Yeah, just trying to make it easier for
Dogs,
everyone,
right?
do it online. You don't have to necessarily come here and
Yeah.
Makes it more accessible for the public.
for sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else?
I'm just wondering if it's an admin issue or a admin responsibility or public works, the service tracker.
It's by department. So the service tracker, it's whatever the service type is, let's say. If it's for public works, they will handle their own. Administration will handle our own, bylaw officers. So it depends what the issue is or the complaint.
And it's divvied up by admin and then forwarded to them.
Correct. Yeah, everyone will have their specific.
The software itself does it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
so by
Sorry,
selecting
yes.
Whichever drop down.
Yeah, I've got
is.
like a track list, so I'll divvy up, okay, this topic is for this person, they'll get emails, bylaw officer will get theirs, public works will get theirs.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it's possible, I don't know, twice a year or quarterly to get a list of the service tracker and then where are we at, what's been done, why not? Or
Yep, I can add that to the next one.
That's something that we've been talking about, and then defining some service time limits on it as well.
Okay.
So that, and that's something that we want to work with on council in terms of helping to define, you know, what is an appropriate service time.
Okay.
And response. So what we want to do is be able to also say how long does it take us to respond to a response as well?
Okay, that's good, thanks.
Perfect. Anything else? 8.4 Public Works, PWQ1 2026 report.
So Mike, as the report is in here, if there's any questions, I can do my best to respond to them. If not, we can have Mike follow up as well.
Council, anything? No, okay. Moving on to 9.1 accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Counselor Pelche, second. Counselor Lemoine.
So we have the two batches, one for $70,000 and then 21448 for $67,000. And then I'll just quickly jump forward to 9.2 as well. There's 21,451 for 200, 21,452 for 69,000, and then 21,455 for 295,000. Mohammed has done the batch summary that's been uploaded. I know we did get one question regarding the fire department, and just our volunteers there had been outlaying the cash up front for their sort of some of their activities. And so we want to just change some of those processes to ensure that they're not being taken or that burden's not falling on them. So it'll be something we work through with the fire department to kind of clear up.
Perfect. Council, any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.2. Accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Counselor Boulanger, second. Counselor Lemoine.
As mentioned, I've kind of covered those. The larger items are covered again in the batch summary. If there's any additional questions after the meeting, please reach out to me and we'll get you the information that you need.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.3 council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Counselor Pelche, second. Counselor Boulanger. Comments or questions? Regular council indemnity. Anything out of the ordinary? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.4 payroll to be approved. Do I have a mover? Counselor Bonnerchuk, second Counselor Lemoine. Thank you.
So 2 payrolls for information there, staff payroll March 23rd and then staff payroll for April 2nd. You will notice there's some overtime within Public Works. A lot of that is related to steaming culverts and cleaning ditches. So overall, no concerns. We'll be doing Q1 HR report for the next council meeting as well. So
Perfect. Thank you, Council. Any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.5 internal transfer funds. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second Councillor Pelletier.
So this is pretty straightforward. It is, as it indicates, an internal moving of funds between the operating account and the reserves. Fairly straightforward. If there's any questions regarding that, please let me know, and we'll get Mohammed to provide a response.
Thank you, Council. Any comments or questions? Nope. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 12.1.1 sale of surplus municipal land. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second Councillor Bonnerchuk.
So as council is aware, there is a small piece of triangle land in Ile-des-Chênes next to the daycare on Old 59. It's something that's come forward for discussion, and we've looked at a few different options. And so right now we are looking to sell it off to Highway 59 Developments, who own the rest of the land. Their plan is to use it to help Clearview Co-op establish a grocery store there. So a huge need for the community that I think we all believe is very important. We've agreed to sell it at the assessed value of $42,400. So.
Perfect. Council, any comments or questions?
So they'll have the whole section then, like you said, so that it helps.
Yeah,
So they're not necessarily selling that parcel to co-op.
no.
Okay.
It's a really weird, like, there's a triangle and then there's this part and then they own up here, but they need to take more. In order to give the land that Clearview would need, they need to take more. So really, co-op needs part of our little triangle, so it doesn't make sense to subdivide our little triangle. This makes the most sense. Plus, they'll need it for road access to be able to develop that back area, so.
Because at first I'm like, they're gonna put the co-op on that little triangle.
No.
Like, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Okay, anything else from council? No, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 12.1.2 John Q Affordable Seniors Housing Initiative. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second Councillor Lemoine.
Okay, so this is a John Q initiative where they are looking at doing a number of build outs through a number of communities that are part of John Q for seniors housing. They have applied for funding through FCM and the Building Canada Homes to support this initiative. They are asking if they're approved and are able to go forward, they would look for interested communities to provide as part of it 5 acres of land as a minimum, and then do some of the servicing for it. So at this point in time, this is we have signed a letter of intent in the past. Councillor Belanger and myself have sat through the first 3 meetings, I think, on it, and so this motion is to support sort of that application to FCM and the Building Homes Canada. Before anything goes forward and before council and the RM actually commit to anything, we would need to have some type of an agreement in writing with John Q regarding the, I guess, donation of 5 acres, or the setting aside the 5 acres itself. We have identified some land already that we would use for this purposes if it goes forward. So.
Perfect. Council, any comments or questions?
It's good timing with the federal announcement yesterday of the funds coming forward for these kind of things. So I think as long as we're ready and getting the ground, just like with the daycares, we were ready and we were one of the first. So looking forward to this.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.1.3 John Q. FCM tree funding support. Do I have a mover? Counselor Bonnerchuk, second Counselor Pelletier.
So again, this motion is part of John Q's application to FCM. They are applying for funding through one of the federal grants for growing community canopies. The intent of it really is to use the funds to provide landscaping for the seniors housing. So this kind of supports the previous motion that we passed. There would be an opportunity, I think, if they could expand the program as well, potentially to allow us to access funding for trees for other areas. But the main intent of this is to support the affordable seniors housing initiative.
Perfect. Council comments or questions? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.1.4 project manager for initiation and planning phase for IDC Fire Hall. Do I have a mover? Counselor Lemoine, second. Counselor Pelletier.
So we are looking at obviously doing the fire hall in Ilshane, building a new one. We are working with TransCanada Energy on some land. In order to move forward with the approach, we are looking at bringing on Colliers to walk us through the process of deciding what would be the best build method. And then once we've determined what is the best build method with them, then the idea we would be then going back out to RFP to either hire architects or a build, or whether we go design bid build. Again, we're not sure what method we should take with actually the project. So this is to help us determine what project or what method we would do with the project and to get us to that point. And then from there, again, we would do a separate RFP for whether it's an owner's advocate or a project manager to help us and assist us with the rest of that project. So yeah.
Perfect. Council comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a comment. I'm just concerned on the scope, the scale of this project. I can see this being very useful on it would have been useful on this project, for example, larger projects. But with the fire hall, thought we already had pretty much like a plan layout. We were just adding bays, that type of thing. Scotty kind of knows what they need for the design part of it. This to me feels like a middleman that we're paying another consultant fees as a middleman. I get your point on the upfront to try to figure out how to go about it. My concern is moving forward. Do we need that? That's what the architect is supposed to be. Like that's they're project managers. We haven't had success with them. That's like in my briefing notes, but my concern would be moving forward and those fees just getting exorbitant. So whatever we're saving, we're spending.
Yeah.
I'm very hesitant on this, and I'm very leery. This is a different approach. The scale of the project doesn't seem that it is required for the fire hall project. You can see it for a hospital, a school, those kind of things where it's quite intricate, where you've got so many balls in play, right?
So
Is this, sorry, before you answer that, is it, and also to add to Councillor Belanger, is this something that's required by the province for the funding they've given us?
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep in mind that the process that we'd like to enter into with them right now is to help us determine what is the best method to have the fire hall designed and then constructed. It's not actually to oversee the design. It's not to oversee the construction at this point in time, right? It's just to help us figure out, because at this point in time, we don't know what is the best method. Construction management, is it design bid build? Is it design build? There's a couple of variations within that. And so I think that's the concern. My concern is, again, some of the challenges that we saw with this building and that you're aware of. And so I want to go into the fire hall because of the importance of it. I don't want to make mistakes up front. So if we can say, hey, the best method is design bid build and as you know, the role of the architect, like we might, if we decide it's a kind of design bid build, well, do we need an architect or are we just going with a construction company, right? I think it's deciding, again, we don't know if we need an architect or we just need a single company who's going to build it, right? And so this process will help us determine what is that right step. And I think from my standpoint, it'll be an educational thing for us as an organization to learn more about the various methods and then taking that knowledge and applying it to future projects as well. We have the ability, this does count against the grant that we've received. So to date, we've already received, I think, 60% of that grant. So there is money there to support that as process. Keeping in mind that we're not saying that Colliers is going to manage the whole project from start to finish for us. We would definitely be going back out to RFP once we've determined what method.
If we, not once, if.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, yes. Once we go, like, once we determine what method we've determined that we want to go with, then that whole process will determine, okay, what do we now need to RFP? And to your comments, absolutely, we either need an owner's advocate or kind of a third-party project manager. There's potential that we could go, and maybe the right thing to do would be actually bringing somebody on staff as a project manager, like going out and finding that external knowledge, like depending on what the cost of a project manager might be, we might be able to do that as well. So there, again, I think there's a lot of different avenues that we can go down. But because we don't know what method we're taking, that holds up some of the process there. So I'm comfortable if we want to turn this down and go a different route. I just, at this point in time, I don't have the knowledge or I'm comfortable making a recommendation about what would be the right build. I know we've said, hey, we've got the St. Agath plans and it's just adding 2 bays, but in conversations with Scott, we've actually talked about, okay, well, long-term in the growth of Ile des Chenes, I think we need to look at living quarters there potentially, right? And we need to start thinking about, is that going to turn into a full-time firehouse? And so does that impact the build as well? So those are questions that I can't really answer. And so it might not be as simple as going, hey, here's the St. Agath plans, add 2 bays. Because I do know that we already need to go higher and deeper to, like, one of the things that the fire department is saying is this needs to be built to hold a ladder truck, because potentially, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, at some point in time in the future, we're going to go over 3 stories. And once we go over 3 stories, then the fire department needs a ladder truck. And so I think it's important to make sure, again, I think it's important to make sure it's done right. And so I'm hoping that us walking through this process would allow us to make sure that it's done.
No, I agree on the initial phase. I just fear moving forward, if we hire another consultant, whatever we're saving, that's what we're spending. And if it's a wash, I guess it's fine. But it's unfortunate that not everybody out there is perfect. And you think you get a good team and you end up with not a good team. And that's
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but
We, so if we go 5 bays is what we're aiming for?
Yeah.
So do we know, and maybe AMM could help us out, if within Manitoba or neighboring provinces, did somebody just make a build of a 5-6 bay
That I don't know.
fire hall?
sounds like a John Q project. No.
Just to see who was used, what worked, what didn't, how much did it cost, who did it, who did the build, all that.
And I think we can do all that research for sure about a 5 bay, or like really over 4 bay, like we don't know. We can definitely start to reach out and find out if anybody else has been building fire halls, and again, lessons learned, I think, go for an overall project. So yeah, we can definitely step back if council would prefer and try and do some more research. I still don't know that we're going to have the answer about what is the best method for us to take forward in terms of the design and the build of this facility. So,
we talked about that. We had that same discussion when we were talking about this building. It's the best method. And then we hired the architect to do a feasibility on what was needed, right? Like how many bodies, how many square feet. The year before we did that, we hired, and he kind of guided us. It was an architect, and he kind of guided us in the direction that was the best method, but like I said, I'm not opposed to this method, but I just fear moving forward. You look at their hourly fees and you look at it's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, I've been honest with them too, where I said, like, as it is, we've gone in and with the proposal and I've asked them to cut hours. I said, honestly, like they wanted to do kind of like bi-weekly meetings and some other stuff. And my opinion is we don't need to meet that frequently we're just trying to figure out the right method of designing and building this facility. And so I don't think we need to meet bi-weekly with it. So yeah.
On another note, I asked a few questions without any details and got some very good feedback on this firm. That they do save the client headache and money. So
yeah,
as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
are we looking at tabling this and having a discussion during a committee of the whole, or are we going to make a decision right now?
I'd like to table it.
Okay. Is there specific information that council would like us to come back with?
I just want to see what admin can come up with information first. I kind of like what Joelle said about looking at other provinces quickly and seeing if anyone else has done anything the same as what we're doing, or if other RMs have gone this route with someone like this and what their experiences have been too, before we just spend the money on this.
Okay.
But that's just me.
I think we need an owner's advocate. Regardless of which way we go. And I don't know if that comes in before Colliers does this and they guide us, somebody with construction background. It's not just a fire hall. We've got nobody in-house that can
No.
project manage us.
Right.
At all.
Which is why we wanted to go down this road,
Yeah.
right? So again, okay.
And I prefer somebody on our side than an architect or an engineer who failed us on this project.
Yeah.
So again, we work with Builder at my other gig. They're doing it with Lorette. They're working with St. Pierre. Somebody like that has been instrumental to the municipalities. I think it's gotta be
Yeah, I think just a final comment that keep in mind that the only thing that we're asking them to do is tell us what is the best, work through the process of determining what is the best method to design and build this, not to actually design and build it. 100%, once we actually decide that we're gonna, whatever method we take, we are gonna have, let's say we hire company X to design and build it, or company X to design it and company Y to build it. We're gonna have somebody external to that 1, 2, or 3 companies that is gonna be our owner's advocate or project manager to walk us through it. Again, all we were asking for in terms of Colliers here was to help us determine, again, what is that right method? And
So if that's all you've asked, that fee is pretty high for that.
to walk
that
us through the
answer.
process. So,
Yeah. In my opinion,
yeah.
that's,
so, okay, well, we can do more research and we'll bring something back.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, moving on, 12.15 policy framework. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So this is a follow-up to the last couple of meetings. The policy governance framework is designed to provide us with a method to create policies, a policy on creating policies, everybody's favorite thing. Anyways, so this is the first part of that. We went through this with council and went through that framework of what the policies look like and how we will classify them and design and deliver them. And then the next part with the policy updates would be the first 3 policies as part of what we've done as part of the review, and then the additional policies for information. But are there questions about the policy governance framework?
Council, any questions, comments?
Is there a difference between 4 and 5?
Sorry, I gotta open my computer again.
okay, that's okay. They look the same, but there might be subtle differences.
No? Call for the question. All those in favor?
1 sec, Janine had a question.
Oh, sorry. I thought you guys froze on me.
No. My computer just went to sleep, so I gotta re-wake it up here.
Oh, they are different. Sorry, my apologies. I just looked.
Oh, just because of the names of the. Thought I. So 4 and 5 are just the templates that we use. I thought I actually put, because one is a template for council policy and one is a template for admin policy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, those are just templates, yes.
Okay.
I thought I actually named them templates. So.
That's it. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. 12.1.6 policy updates. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Pelletier.
So these are the 3 of the first policies that we went through and discussed that need council approval. One would be our accessibility policy, the records management policy, and the new one that we've created. The first 2 were largely part of our personnel policy, and that's what we've pulled out. And the last one is responsible use of AI. So these are for council approval.
Perfect. Council, any comments or questions? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. And 12.1.7.
Just for information only, if there's any questions about all those policies. Again, these are ones that we've covered the policy meeting as well, so.
Perfect. Council, nothing. Moving on, 12.1.8 CSO designated officer. Is this just for discussion or are we designated it today?
We are designating today, so as everybody's aware, everybody to manage.
Sorry, I gotta get a mover. Councillor, I need a mover. Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier. Go ahead, Mr. CEO.
So this is just to designate Manjeet, who we've hired as our community safety officer, as a designated officer for the rural municipality of Richshot to allow him to carry out some of his duties.
Perfect. Welcome to the team. Council, any other comments, questions?
I just want to thank admin for getting this pushed through and getting it done. I know it's something I wanted to see for since day
Since you
one.
started, yeah.
Since I started. So, and a huge welcome and hoping nothing but the best success for you. And yeah, this is a huge step forward for the RM, and I'm really glad to see admin and everyone come together and get this finished off and get it out the door now.
Excellent. And next up for you, Councillor Bondarchuk, is turning all the speed zones to 20 kilometers an hour. So we look forward to seeing that.
Can we get a possible list of what he can and can't do?
Yeah. We're going to be creating that for the community as well, because we do know there'll be some confusion in terms of the role of CSO and what they can and can't do.
Okay.
Just a reminder that they're not a police officer, so like, they're not allowed to arrest and stuff like that, intervene in many situations. So, and there's limitations within the highway traffic enforcement that they can do as well. So.
Awesome.
Excellent. So they can't arrest me during my disorderly conduct. Perfect. I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That is carried. No petitions, no notice of motions. Rest is correspondence. 14 in camera. Do we need in camera, council? No. Okay. Item 15, adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine. Before I close, I just want to wish a happy birthday to my little man Remington. He turned 2 yesterday, so this is recorded now. So Remington, when you're older, you can watch this video in 20 years. Other than that, I will close the meeting at 9:44. Oh no, sorry. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. 9:44 a.m. I'll close the meeting. Have a good day, everyone.